Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday morning service. It is so delightful to have everyone here, and it is just so good to see all of your beautiful faces on screen here. I'm scrolling through all of the little boxes of people, and if you're joining us on Facebook Live or if you're watching later, we're so happy to have you here joining us as well. So, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living is physically located in Falls Church, Virginia, outside of or in the DC metro area. However, we are now all over the world. We are truly global because all of our services and events and everything like that are being live streamed and on Zoom. And so you can join us from anywhere, anytime, and see what's going on and be a part of our amazing, beloved community. And so, as y'all know, we like to start our services by saying our vision together to remind us of where we're all headed in the same direction. So please stay muted and say with me our vision. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And we truly are doing that this morning and every day through Celebration Center for Spiritual Living and our Science of Mind teachings. I am so excited because today we have an amazing service planned. The topic is magical, mystical mystery. And we have a guest musician today, David Washington. David, just kind of wave at us. I am extra excited that David is joining us because he was my music director at Center for Spiritual Living Asheville when I was there. And I was always just blown away at the amount of love and joy that he could bring to our music program, and also at how he could just write music, like just, oh, here's a song, let's just do this song that I just wrote just now in my head, you know, here you go. Oh, and it's like super uplifting and it's gonna super move you, and no big deal. So I'm super excited to have him here joining us today. And some other CSL Asheville friends are here with us, zooming in. So it's just really nice to have everyone here. In addition, our practitioner on platform today is Irina Kurashevitz. And so we'll be hearing from her in just a little while. And then we also have Michael Zawatsky, who is going to be doing our announcements. And of course, in the background, we have the illustrious Ivor Tillotson, who is running all of our tech and doing all of our stuff. And he waved at y'all, but you couldn't see it because his screen is currently a PowerPoint presentation. So without further ado, I would love to invite our guest musician, David, into the room to open us up in some song.
Thank you, Kristen. You can hear me okay? Thumbs up. Excellent. Wow, so good to be here this morning. I'm thrilled. This is one of my favorite songs as an opening, and it's called A Good Day. And I'm going to bring in my virtual band along with me. It's a good day dawning. It's a day of love. It's a good day for celebrating joy. It's a good day dawning. It's a day of love. It's a good day for celebrating life. Here I see smiling faces everywhere. Welcome me back home. Hands reaching out in love. It's a good day dawning. It's a day of love. It's a good day for celebrating joy. and joy. It's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day for celebration. It's a good day, it's a good day for joy. It's a good day, it's a good day, it's a good day for celebration. It's a good day, it's a good day for life.
Thank you so much, David. What a wonderful way to start out the service. And I definitely feel like it is a good day now. And so I would like to invite Irina into the room, our practitioner on platform, to give us a prayer and a reading and uplift and inspire us. Irina.
Thank you, Reverend Chris. Thank you, David. That's what I needed to begin the service. Sometimes after the opening song, I think, shall we just, have a closing song and go, because we're so uplifted and prayed up. So it's like an opening prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Reverend Chris has 3M service today, and I decided that what can I do? I can add only the fourth one. So my reading will be about miracles. It is from the book 10 Ideas That Make a Difference that Ernest Holmes wrote in 1966. Miracles are natural. Every manifestation of faith through prayer, every wonder and sign which has followed the devotional life has been inevitable result of some hidden cause set in motion by the life principle. Every longing and yearning we have ever had, every secret desire of our soul, and every constructive ambition we have had is but whispering of this power, assuring us that we are one with it, that we are a manifestation or personification of it, that we are a center in it. And let's pray. And I know that there is only one power, one life, one joy, one peace, one harmony. And that life is everywhere. There is nothing else but life, but God, but spirit, but joy. And it is the essence of everything. There is no place in the universe and beyond where God is not, where love is not. It may be invisible, but it is there. And we believe that God is the essence of everything, that God is life and life is God. And I am, if I know that God is all there is, so it means that I am, and I'm one and inseparable from the divine. I'm all that God is. And as I know it for myself, I know it for everyone in this Zoom room and beyond, on Facebook and beyond, in Falls Church, in Virginia, in North Carolina and beyond the borders. I recognize the oneness of God for everyone and everything. And God is present in every situation, even it is invisible. Even if my eyes can't see it, my soul can see it. I just know it. I just know it with my heart that it is there. And I declare perfection, wholeness, joy, love, abundance for everyone who is here today. I declare all the prayer requests are answered in the perfect mind of God. I declare perfect relationship. I declare abundant life. I declare perfect self-expression. I declare love, harmony, peace. I declare joy in big and small things for everyone here and for others. I declare peace. I declare bliss and harmony. And I know that my miracle and everybody's miracle is just one prayer away. Sometimes it's just a breath away. And I know that it is absolute possibility to create miracles in my life and everyone's life. As I know that each and everyone is a co-creator of spirit. And I'm so grateful to know that there is place for miracles in the life of God. I'm so grateful to know that the prayer requests are absolutely answered. I'm grateful to know the oneness. I'm grateful to know that God is. And I'm grateful to speak this word of truth. And with this deep, deep gratitude, I let it be. I release it into the law, knowing that it is done. And I just surrender to what my heart beats. I let it be joyfully and easily. And this is so. And so it is.
And so it is, Irina. Thank you so much.
I want to say one more thing, Reverend Chris, and later it will be announced in the service how to submit your prayer requests. And if you want to pray with practitioners, we're always available here for you. Thank you.
Yes, our practitioners love to pray. So if you have a prayer request, I would imagine that Suzanne is dropping the email into the chat right now, and we'll also show you how to find that form on the website later in the service. So thank you, Irina. And thank you to all of our practitioners. And now I'd like to invite David back for another song.
Early morning, the ground is warming up. Mist is rising in the air. Life is stirring east of Eden. In my garden planted there. In the quiet of the day, I'm on my knees as if to pray, choosing what will go and what will stay. If beauty is to have a way. Early morning, I'm barely waking up. In the dawning light of day, my hands are shaking, dirt off the roots and leaves. as the dream time fades away. Early morning, my world is unaware of my quiet garden here. I am planting seeds for all of us in the future that we share. In my garden, let beauty have a way. In my garden,
Thank you so much, David. That was beautiful. That was exactly what I needed this morning. So thank you. So before I get too deep into my message, I have a surprise, an announcement. I don't know what it is. So in this month, Science of Mind magazine, and that is Miguel Ruiz, Don Miguel Ruiz on the cover there. But inside the magazine, I am featured in an article called The Spirit of the Time, along with 10 other, there's 9 little circles, but there's 10 of us, young New Thought CSL leaders and ministers and practitioners. And so we have this whole article, which is really great. It was written by Masando and Rebecca Hiroka, who are at Mile High Church, and they quoted me and several other people throughout the article. So we have a few copies up here at the center. If you're interested, you can also go to scienceofmindmagazine.org, I believe, and I would request a copy there. So I thought that was pretty exciting and cool. And it actually happens like the day after I moved here, and I was writing out quotes and talking on the phone with them to give them quotes while returning my U-Haul truck from moving across the country. So oh, and yes, thank you, April. They are also on sale at Barnes & Noble. The Science of Mind magazine is, so you can go pick it up there as well if you're interested in seeing the quotes that they put in there of mine, and also just seeing a really neat article. And of course, I highly recommend the Science of Mind magazine for all of the incredible articles and content, and they have a daily word with affirmations and prayers, and it's good stuff. So I thought that I would share that with y'all. It's very exciting to be a part of the magazine. So Willow Smith, who is, you may know as Will Smith's daughter, says this: fantasy and reality are the same. To break the barrier and walk between the worlds of the reality that we know and the world of thought and imagination, the only thing you will ever need is the capacity to see beyond the limitations you have placed on yourself. So the only thing we ever need is the capacity to see beyond the limitations that we have placed on ourselves, because the reality is that there are no limitations, right? We are not limited beings. We are unlimited beings. We are all the totality of spirit wrapped up into these human packages. We are the infinite and the eternal and the absolute showing up as little tiny specks of light that is everywhere. And in this moment, we're all just being our little specks of light into little Zoom squares. And how amazing is that we are we are infinite beings that can also be showing up on a Zoom screen. It's amazing. It's amazing to me. And my topic this week is magical, mystical mystery. And when I came up with that topic, I really love alliteration. I do. And I have a lot of other millennial friends. I'm a millennial, and we have this thing for alliteration and naming things with alliteration. And I was working with my friend Reverend Dan on a project, and he's like, let's call it. He had all these names, and every one of them was like 3 A's or 3 M's or 3 T's. And I was like, dude, like, you love alliteration more than I do. And he's like, yep, I'm a millennial. So magical, mystical, mystery. But when I think of mystery, when I think of stepping into the unknown, I can either get afraid or excited, right? Like I can choose which direction I'm going to go, afraid or excited. And so to me, if I'm stepping into the unknown and I think of it as a mystery, then it invites within me curiosity instead of fear. It invites this kind of excited sort of like, oh, like, let's go explore this. Let's go see what is calling to be known, that in this unknown, let's have an adventure, as opposed to, oh God, I have to take this leap of faith and I don't know what's going to happen and everything's unknown. Instead, I go, oh, what is seeking to be known in this unknown process? And when I shift my energy and my thought to this idea of mystery, then behind that, what I get to is, oh my goodness, if it's a mystery and I don't know it, it could be magical. It could be miraculous. It could be mystical. It could be all of these amazing things. I don't know. And the reality is that I'm creating it. And so the more that I believe that when I step into this mystery, I'm stepping into magic and mysticism and miracles and possibilities, the more that's what shows up for me. And this desire for magic, this desire for the mysterious to be magical, it shows up everywhere in our society. It shows up in the books we read. It shows up in the movies we watch. It shows up in the way that we talk to one another. I mean, look at how big Harry Potter still is all of these years later, right? How many of y'all know what Harry Potter house you're in? Anyone? Just me? April does. Yep. Yeah. So a lot of people, there's whole groups dedicated to talking about what Harry Potter Hogwarts house are you in, right? Because we just have this desire for magic in our lives. And, there's Lord of the Rings, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, The Magicians, Charms, Merlin, Bewitched. I could go on and on and on. This idea of magic is everywhere. It's everywhere. And I think about what's going on just outside of my perception that truly is magical. My friend, Reverend Abigail Shire, who's also quoted in this magazine article, was telling me when I went to move to California, I was really worried that I was going to miss the fireflies because they don't have fireflies west of the Rocky Mountains. I was super concerned because fireflies were a huge part of my childhood. I still go out in the summer and collect them into a jar, and I talk to them, and I, look at them, and I sit on the porch and I see them up in the trees, right? And so I was getting ready to move to California, and I was really worried about it. And what Reverend Abigail told me, she's always lived on the West Coast her whole life. And she said when she was a child and she would see fireflies in books, she thought that they were mythological creatures. She thought it was something that was made up in books, just like fairies or leprechauns or, any other mythological creature, unicorns, because she didn't have that experience in real life, right? She didn't grow up with fireflies. And all of a sudden in that moment, I was like, how many things do I think are mythological that other people think are perfectly normal and real? Like, we say leprechauns are a mythological creature, but are they just hanging out in Ireland and we just don't know because we don't live there? Like, who knows? Who knows what magic that we think is not real exists just outside of our perception, or just outside of our comfort zone, or just outside of where we live and tend to spend our time and our day and our lives. There's so much magic that's just waiting to be uncovered. And when we step in, when we lean in and we take that step into the unknown, all of a sudden, all of that stuff that was just outside of our realm of perception, it's open to us. And all of a sudden, our whole lives are magical. And things that we felt were, just normal fare are mysterious and miraculous. Not Ernest Holmes, Albert Einstein says, there are only two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is though one as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Everything is a miracle. And so we get to make that decision. Are we going to step into our lives looking around going, oh my gosh, this is miraculous? Or are we going to step into our lives going, oh, this again, same thing as yesterday, same thing as the day before? And what's really interesting to me is, following this thread of young Reverend Abigail, not understanding that fireflies are indeed a real creature. How many things are happening in my life that somebody else would think of as an absolute divine mystical miracle? Like, that is the thing that they have been praying for. And it's just my normal everyday life. And how many things am I praying for that are just somebody else's normal everyday experience? That is the beauty when we begin to think about magical, mystical mystery. That's the beauty that we're stepping into is, oh my gosh, when I open up my perception, there's so much here to find. So then that leads me into the idea of infinite possibilities. We like to say that, right? We're possibility thinking and infinite possibilities, and everything is open and available to us. And I heard this example once, and it is still to this day my favorite example of infinite possibilities. So imagine on your arm that you get poison ivy. And so you get a rash and it's super itchy, right? Now, imagine that you are a single skin cell inside of your arm, and you're in pain, and you're angry, and you're inflamed, and you're itchy, and you just want relief, and there's no end in sight. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes this giant hand reaching across from the heavens to scratch you. And relief. And there is no way that individual skin cell on your arm could have possibly fathomed or imagined or prayed specifically for this giant hand to come out of the heavens to scratch and make you feel better. You couldn't have known that as a skin cell. And yet to us, it's what we do, right? We scratch our poison ivy. I know they tell us not to, don't scratch your poison ivy, but we do, right? So you scratch your poison ivy and it feels better. And then you go one step further, you put calamine lotion on it, and then it feels better for longer. That skin cell doesn't know anything about calamine lotion. To you, or to that skin cell, you are that infinite expression that's just showing up and taking care of it. And that is what the universe is doing to us. Something that is so mundane to the universe, that's like scratching poison ivy, is a complete and utter miracle to us, something that we couldn't fathom or imagine, or even, manifest or visualize. It's something that we get to step back as we step into the unknown. We get to lean back into that surrender space, and we get to just trust that something bigger than us, that is also us, paradox again, right? That thing has got us and is us and is our lives and is showing up through us, but it's also showing up as us, and it's all of it. It's all of it. And how fantastic is that? Thank God. I am so grateful that this finite mind doesn't have to come up with all the answers, because it doesn't have them all. But when I open to that thing that is moving through me and as me and in me, that is greater than what I am, and yet it is what I am, when I open to that, all of a sudden my possibilities truly do become infinite. And I think what I got to thinking about when I thought about this idea of infinite possibilities and surrendering to this thing that is greater than us, that knows, is that I think sometimes we get caught up, because when we think of infinite possibilities, that could be things that we don't want also. And the thing that kind of came to my head, which made me laugh, but also made me go, is infinite possibilities. I could land on the moon. I could just be on the moon all of a sudden. If there's infinite possibilities, and then how am I going to breathe, and what's going to happen? And oh my gosh. But, and that's a very far away example. But if I'm truly open to surrendering to all that is, I could lose my job. I could be homeless. I could lose all my money in the stock market, anything, literally infinite possibilities. And so we get to turn off that part of our brain that goes, what if? And we get to turn on the part of the brain that goes, no, there's magic to be had here. There's magic that's just sitting just outside of what we can see. And we get to go there and we get to explore it. It reminds me of the old ancient maps where they didn't know what lay beyond the edges that they had explored. So they put monsters. They don't know. It's scary. They don't know what's over there. You could fall off the end of the world. We better put a monster so that you don't go over there and fall off the world. That would stink. Better to be scared than fall, right? And so that's what we do. Better to stay in our known area, in our comfort zone, than to truly surrender to that which is greater than us, and truly let go and open to infinite possibilities and find out what the magic is that is available to us. Somebody who is really good at doing this is our founder, Ernest Holmes. He lived his life seeking to discover that which he didn't know, that which was just outside of his realm of knowing. And he went all over the place to find this. He read, I took a class called The Eclectic Writings of Holmes, because he truly read everyone. He didn't care who you were or what religion you were a part of or what your belief system was. He just wanted to gain the wisdom. And he read so many things by so many people. And then from all of that, his collected wisdom from all of these sources, he brought us this teaching, the science of minds. And he had mystical experiences. And what's really amazing is that we have one of them on recording. We have his experience of a mystical moment on recording, and you can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the way that he stops. And all of a sudden you can tell he's not having the same experience that the rest of the people in the audience are having. And so what Ernest Holmes said about this mystical experience, he said it to George Bindle, and he actually didn't tell anyone else about this experience. So he had this experience while he was speaking, and then he left the auditorium and he went home with his friend George Bindle, who he was living with at the time. And he talked about it all night. They stayed up all night long and talked about it. And he told George not to tell anyone because he didn't feel like people would understand. And George waited until Ernest passed away and then shared what Ernest shared with him that night. And so what Ernest told George was, while I was talking, I had the semblance of everything turning into a sort of shimmering light, and I imagined myself, or maybe I was, as though severed from my body, looking down at myself, talking and feeling this thin. I actually had the feeling that I was a part of the stars, that I was a part of everything, that I was part of the whole movement, the push and pull of the universe, but with a greater sense of self-awareness. I thought I had cosmic consciousness experiences long before, but now I know this truly what it was. And then he continued and he said, there was a complete and total recognition that there is no death, nothing but eternal life, no sense of any mistake in anyone's past, only an instantaneous recognition of experience and expression as an individual. And then he finished by saying, however you say it, this kind of thing is usually misunderstood. You can't tell people about it. And what I love about this teaching is that we are open at the top, because now I read this to you and you get it. You understand that he truly did have that mystical experience. And I would imagine, because what I do is I think back into my life and I go, wow, I've had so many mystical experiences, some of which I missed in the moment. I didn't realize that was what was happening. But we all have these moments where that mystery comes into play. It's so beautiful. And so, as a treat, we have this recording of Ernest having this mystical moment. And the first time that I heard this recording, it moved me to tears, because you can hear it, you can feel it sitting at home in your living room or wherever you're at. You can feel the consciousness of Ernest Holmes through this recording. And so I'm going to ask Ivor to play this recording, and I invite you to close your eyes and to take a deep breath. And you know, this was back in the 50s or 60s, so the recording's not great, but that's okay. You don't need to hear his words. You're getting his energy. You're feeling that consciousness that is greater than words. So close your eyes and listen to this recording.
That one with truth is a majority, that every one of us in the secret place of the Most High, the citadel of his own consciousness, has the secret with the eternal, the everlasting, the almighty, and the ineffable. God and I are one. And I see you doing this. And I see you uniting in one great hymn of praise, one great union of effort, one crescendo song, and one enveloping light of consciousness. I see it. Oh God, the veil is thin between. We do mingle with the hosts of heaven. I see it, and I shall speak no more.
So just stay in this feeling. Keep your eyes closed. And I invite you to think about and feel in your hearts all of those times that you had this similar experience where you saw it, you knew it, you felt and knew at the very core of your being that you are one with all of life. This feeling, this knowing is just an eighth of a step away into that mystery, opening ourselves up to that divine. And it is always available. Just as we are seeking these experiences are seeking us. So now I invite you to come back to the space and open your eyes. And I want to have a little extra time for Tell Us today. And I want to hear about your mystical experiences. I want to hear about that mystery and times that you've stepped into it and what is waited for you on that other side of knowing. And so for those of you who are new to our service, Tell Us is a time that anybody can raise their hand and share during the service. And it does go out onto Facebook. We are live streaming on Facebook, so it is recorded. And anybody is welcome to share. Just raise your hands and I'll call on you. Jewel.
I think this falls in the category. So I was single and I really wanted to be married and have a relationship. And I had recently separated from someone. And so I wrote a list of all the qualities that I wanted in a spouse. And then I read the list and went, well, that is my ex. So I burnt the list. And then I asked God for all the qualities that I needed to heal my childhood and mate with somebody and become a stronger family. And that was a completely different list. And 2 weeks later, I met my husband of 24 years. Not met, re-met. He was my friend. We started dating. So that's one of many.
I love that, Joel. And I love that he was somebody that you already knew. And so it's like when you took that step into the mystery, all of a sudden a different perspective of somebody that you had seen was available to you. Thank you for sharing. Who else would like to share? Harrison, and then we'll go to Brenda. Harrison.
Thanks, Reverend Chris. Lovely, lovely topic, lovely tape, very inspiring. And I just think, quick thought that miracles are really just laws of nature we don't understand. You know, like a cell phone 50 years ago, that's a miracle to anybody. How could you get a picture on a little device, you know? And I just feel like when I give up trying to understand, surrender, and just totally agree to everything, and you know, no striving, no trying, no nothing, just let go everything. And then I feel this expanded awareness, expanded space, you know, right here, right now. And we don't need anything special, you know. Every moment, this moment, you and us together, this group together, we don't need anything else, just letting go, surrendering. And then the bliss is there. The bliss is who we are. So great gratitude. Great gratitude. Thank you.
Hear, hear.
Thank you, Harrison. Brenda. You're muted, so you'll need to unmute.
You've hit on two things that have been on my mind lately. And the first one is the trusting of what's going on in the face of not knowing. And I'm facing a problem, and I've been going, what if this, what if that? And I appreciate the support around that, because I'm letting go of it and just knowing. But another thing that I've always had this feeling of knowing. And I wanted to talk to somebody about it. I was thinking of talking to you about it. Maybe I did talk to you about it. I want to know now. When I was younger, I knew that I was going to have those children that I have now, but I didn't realize it at the moment. So I've been thinking, well, I want to know now. When I have these knowings, I want to know them now, not in the future. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I always knew I was going to have a son, and he was going to be very special to me. And I got what I wanted, and I go again. But my feeling is I wish I would like to know that I know those things more consciously at the time. So I'm not sure if I'm explaining this knowing to you. That's just one of many knowings that I've had in my lifetime, but I don't know them at the moment. I know them in the future. My knowings come true in the future, that I knew it in the past. So if you can explain that to me, I would be happy.
Well, it sounds like what I'm hearing you say, and I could be off, but I do that too, where we have these intuitive hits, or we have this knowing, but we don't know how it fits in yet, right? And so then we live through it, and we go back and we go, oh,
I knew it.
I did know that. I did know that. And so I think that's where that surrender and that trust, and then, we begin to build on, I did know that. And so the next intuitive moment that I have, I go, oh, okay, I can trust that this is going to show up somehow, and that it will be revealed how it needs to be revealed to me in the future. And so it just is this process of continuing deepening of our trust and surrender. At least that has been the process for me. And I don't know that it's something that we ever master. It's something that we continue to learn and grow and deepen in. Does that it probably doesn't answer your question, but does it appease you at all?
Well, I don't.
Kristen, I have one if she's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Hold on. Let's let Brenda finish, and then Nancy, you can go.
I'm sorry. Sorry, she wasn't done.
Well, I'm pretty much done. I feel like I had more knowings in the past than I have presently. But of course, I won't know that until the future. Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So, my first thought was, I really, really like to know that I know, and I want to know that it now, not in the future sometime.
We really do like to know as humans. We just really like to know.
Right.
So we get to cultivate that surrender.
So in lieu of that, I will just trust and let go, as Harrison said, just let go and just know that whatever it is that we need or want, it's going to happen for us. So if we trust, especially, and let go and let God handle it because it's too big for us or too unknown to us, then that's the best we can do, and just relax in it.
Yeah. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. We'll do Nancy, and then I saw Janine's hand also. So Nancy, go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about mystical experiences, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is different than what I've been listening to, but maybe 25 years ago, I had an experience where someone was doing Reiki on me, and they had, with intuition, had provided a scent and a sound. I think it was whale sounds, and I don't remember the scent. And I went into a trance, and I saw colors. I saw swirling blues and reds and in a kind of design, and then all of a sudden I saw white with a pink border around it. And later I thought, that must be God. That was my feeling. and I didn't know what it was. And at the end of that session, it seemed like fear was leaving me. It was like I was seeing like oriental tigers kind of going through my brain, and exiting. And I tried that again, and I never could get back to that experience or another one like it. But I know that there was someone else who did the same kind of experience and had a different experience of being out in the universe. So I would love to do that again, but sometimes things happen to you and they just happen and they are unrepeatable. But I never forgot it, and I painted a painting of it so I wouldn't forget it, but I didn't need to because it's in my mind.
Thank you for sharing, Nancy. And I think that that's really true. When we have one of these experiences, it stays with us forever. And we can't live in that state all the time because we wouldn't be very effective here on the planet. We're having this other experience, but it's so wonderful to have those moments of just perfect clarity and knowing the truth. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Janine.
Hey, everybody. Two things. First of all, I loved what Dr. Holmes said about the veil is very thin. I'd like to carry that image with me. So most of you know I was laid off from my job right after COVID hit the country. And I have another job now, I'm grateful. But this was really my mystical experience because when I was laid off, it was March 16th, 2020. When I was laid off, I had a knowing, and it was undescribable at the time. I didn't understand why I felt this way, but I did feel that I was going to be fine. And it was a really strong, pervasive feeling. And the fact is I was fine. Things showed up. And I just trusted that it was all going to work out. And what's interesting is I'm sitting here right now thinking, I don't have that feeling right now. And I'd like to have it back. Right now, I feel like where Brenda is, I would really like to be back in that place of solid knowing and just trust. But now I'm back in the, struggle for that mighty dollar and looking for the next paycheck and blah, blah, blah. And I would rather be back where I was in that space of knowing because it felt really solid.
Thank you for sharing, Janine, and thank you for your vulnerability to share, the difference. I'm not in it right now and I want to get back to it. And I find even for myself, I'm not always in a state of surrender. And it's like in every moment practice of like, oh yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. I surrender. Oh, I'm worrying about that again. I surrender over and over and over again. And just practicing that. Thank you, Janine. So it is time to move on. I'm pretty sure that we could talk about mystical experiences all day, and we will continue this conversation on our Zoom after, in our community conversation after this today. So you're welcome to stay on for people who are new, or if you're on Facebook Live right now, feel free to join our Zoom and continue this conversation of mysticism. And so now I would like to invite David back for another song.
Thank you so much, Reverend Chris. Really appreciate the talk this morning. And in my experience, I'm finding that as I continue along the way, the elements of time and space get a lot more fluid and makes for some interesting experiences indeed. This song is called Rising Up in Life, and let's do it. There's something I know. There's only one life we all live in. And as this new day is dawning, I have a gift to give. So I rise up in light, and I rising up. I see a world full of longing, waiting for spring to appear. I feel a sense of belonging within the love planted here. So I rise up in light, and I rising up. And when the night is over, I slip the veil of slumber. My voice resounds like thunder, lighting up the way of and rising up, rising up, rising up in life.
Thank you so much, David. I love that song. And so now we have reached the time in our service where we talk about prayer requests and giving. And first, I want to talk about prayer requests. Like Irina said, practitioners pray, and we have a couple of different ways that you can give us your prayer requests. The first is through our website, and you go to request affirmative prayer. It's right there. Ivor is pointing it out. I'm also dropping the link in the chat. And there you will reach a form that you can fill out. It is confidential. It goes only to myself and our practitioners, where we pray on your prayer requests. And then another way, if you don't want to do that, you can send it to our email address, prayer@celebrationcenter.org, and I am putting that in the chat as well. And those prayer requests go directly to our practitioner, Suzanne Delahaye, and she distributes that out to me and the practitioners as well. So all of your prayers are held in confidentiality and love, and we love to pray with you and for you. And then we also are a tithing community. Our center tithes to home office, and we believe in the power of giving and receiving. So if you would like to donate to us today, I have dropped that link in the chat, and we are gratefully accepting all gifts that you give. And so that might be something financial. It might be something that you click on that donate link but it also is your love, your time, your energy, your talents, your mystical experiences that you have shared with us this morning, your presence. All of this is your gift to us. And so I just invite you to wrap it all up and bring it into your heart. You're the totality of the gifts that you are bringing to this center and this community. And we will repeat our offertory affirmation together. We will say, not repeat. So I invite you to stay muted and say this aloud with me. Hold, please. There we go. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. And David, an offertory song, please.
Blessings are flowing, the gift is unsealed, life is unfolding, love is revealed. With open heart and open hands, I give and receive in love. I give and receive in love.
And Arena, please bless our prayers and our gifts.
It is my joy and my honor to know that all the prayer requests are already answered in the perfect mind of God. Doesn't matter if they're written, if they're thought, if they're said out loud. It is just a prayer request. And as Ernest Holmes says, we're one prayer away from the miracle. So we take that prayer easily and effortlessly into just knowing that it is all God and it is all good. And I'm so grateful to know that the abundance of the members and the friends of the Celebration Center is that the law of circulation is so powerful, it's unstoppable. And I know that each and everyone participates in it easily and effortlessly. And donations are absolutely generous. And that energy that we call money flows through the Celebration Center and members and friends and other organizations. And it just comes back, multiplied abundantly in so many different shapes and forms to those who give. And I pray and know that there is that open heart to receive and to give, as there is one process of giving and receiving, circulation. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this generous community and to know that this center is essential for the universe. And I'm so grateful to be here. And this is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Arena. And now we have Michael Zawatsky here to give us some announcements. Michael.
Good morning, beloved community. I know everybody's having such a wonderful time today. I've learned so much and will continue to do so. I really enjoyed the music and I really enjoyed the message today and the sharing. But first of all, hey, we did it. We surpassed 100 YouTube subscribers. So now the moment you've been waiting for has arrived, everybody. What color hair do you think Reverend Chris should have now? I think I know, but I don't know. I think we've got a little surprise coming in right now. Right, Reverend Chris?
Yes, because the title is about to work.
It's about to work. I know it
About
will
to
work.
Y'all are gonna be amazed.
I know we're going to be amazed.
Oh, it's not working.
Oh,
Nah, I
maybe
don't know what happened. I practiced.
You only can have one poll on at the time, maybe.
Okay,
Oh,
so here I have a different way of doing it. It's okay. So go to the chat and click on the link in the chat and make your vote heard. You can choose any of the colors that I've chosen. I feel very bad because I got an email from Michael this morning that his color choice is not one of the colors. But I know, I'm sorry, Michael, but there are like 10 options on there. You have like 10 solid choices. And, you know, if you really want to make your voice heard, there's nothing to stop you from voting more than once. But if you're going to do that, you know, make sure it's a color that I want to. I'm just saying. So please go to the chat and click on that link and make your voice heard. It's also on Facebook and I've sent it out. I'll send it out again on email. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay, well, Reverend Chris's new class, Mental Equivalence, starts April 28th. That's between 6:30 and 8:30 and goes for 5 weeks. And this idea about knowing, I think, plays right into this, if I'm not mistaken. It's really a good class for people who are new to the teaching and also people who have been here for a while, you know, so it's a leap into the state of true potential by activating the powerful law of mental equivalence. For everything formed in the universe, there's a corresponding mental image. So discover how to measure and expand thinking to create a larger mental image so that one's greatest desire may be manifested. Okay, so for more information, look on the link also on the chat. And also on our website, it's right up on the website too, that you can register and get more information. And then next week, we've got a real treat in store for everybody. Dr. Reverend Ken Green is going to be, Gordon. I'm just looking out the window and seeing everything green. I think that's where it came from. Ken Gordon is going to be, speaking on stepping into the unknown. And Lynn Hollyfield's going to be back. So it's a must-attend service, guys. Remember, he was one of our spiritual leaders in the past. And then, of course, we've got all our recurring events from Jen Fay's Twice Yoga. We've got meditation going on Tuesday morning with Jen, Reverend Faith, and Reverend Chris. A lot of meditation going on. We've got Thursday choir, chanting on Saturdays. And drumming is back. I think they had one yesterday, actually, but hopefully next week too. All right, and that's about it from me. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Well, I will. I know that.
Thank you so much, Michael. And yes, lots and lots and lots of really fun stuff coming up. So please check it out. And we invite everybody who's here for the first time to join us for anything else throughout the week or join us again on Sundays. And I want to just give a quick shout out to all of the people who are here from Center for Spiritual Living Asheville, which is my original center, my OG. And it's also the center that David Washington was at for many years as the music director. And so we're so grateful to have all of y'all here. It's so good to see all of our celebration people. We're so grateful to David for joining us this morning. David, your music has been perfect and beautiful and inspiring. And thank you to Irina and to Michael for the announcements and for being the practitioners, and to all of our practitioners really for holding space and praying with our community. They are the healing arm of our community. And so now, David, we would like to invite you back for one last song.
Thank you, Reverend Chris, and thank you all for receiving me so kindly. It's wonderful to be together in this way. So here's one more song, Keep On Walking. Sometimes we don't know how close we are to realize our dreams. The truth is, we're so much closer than the evidence may seem. Let the sadness subside and let's dry our eyes. Let our fears dissolve. No more hesitation, no useless questions, ready or not. It's time to move forward. Got to make a choice, keep on walking, walking on the pathway of your life. Keep on walking, walking on the path that's filled with light. Sometimes we want to know the future and see where all this leads. Oh, what fun is that in this game we play of divine hide and seek? Let the sadness subside and let's dry our eyes. Let our fears dissolve. No more hesitation or useless questions, ready or not. Keep on walking, walking on the pathway of your life. Keep on walking, walking on the path that's filled with light. Keep on walking, walking on the pathway of your life. Keep on walking, walking on the path that's filled with light.
Thank you so much, David. Oh, I've missed your music. It's so good to hear your music again. And so with that, I send us out and I invite you this week to just make that little leap into the unknown and into the mystery and see what magic and what mysticism is awaiting you there. And we will say bye to our Facebook live stream for now. Bye, Facebook.